In this video, I'm showing you the exact workout I use to build a bigger chest and arms. Trust me, it's not your average gym session. I'll reveal how to supercharge your chest and biceps with my go-to supersets, plus the biggest mistakes that guys make that hold back muscle growth. These tips help me add serious size and strength to my upper body, and they'll do the same for you if you follow along. Stick around, I'll show you exactly how to take your training to the next level. So today we're training chest. Chest, I do 2 to 3 exercises, 4 sets each, which times 2 is going to come out to like 16 sets a week. We'll do biceps. I usually do 2 exercises. With each training day, I implement shoulder exercises. So on back day, I do back, triceps, plus a couple sets of shoulders. Chest day, I do chest, biceps, and a couple sets of shoulders. And on leg day, I do legs and a couple sets of shoulders. So each training day,
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
I do 3 to 4 sets of shoulders. Over the course of a week, that comes out to like 16, 20 sets of shoulders. I do it this way because when you're training chest, you're already working your shoulders and you're already working your triceps. So if you try to do triceps at the end of your chest day, they're already kind of fatigued and you might not be able to get the maximal amount of effort out of them. So I train biceps instead because they're fresh, ready to go. And it allows me to superset and shorten the amount of training time. And that way you're spending less time in the gym, but still getting maximal results. So let's start. Here's a major piece of advice. It doesn't matter how you track your exercise, you should be tracking your training days. You should be writing down the exercise you're doing, how many sets, how many reps. And if you want to get real fancy, you'll count the reps in reserve, aka how close were you till failure. If you don't do that, you'll never have a good gauge of how well you're progressing or increasing, your strength, your gains. If at all, you'll know if you're progressing. Even getting that last rep to the 6 was tough. I did like 5.5 reps. So yeah, we're gonna stay here till we get stronger. Here's a pro tip. If you're between the rep range of 6 to 12 reps and getting to 8 reps, or even once you're starting to reach 12 reps is getting extremely difficult, you're probably in a good range with your weight. So I'm doing around 115 times 2. I'm doing 250 right now with the isolateral bench press. It's very hard for me to get up to 7 reps. This is where I'm gonna stay. I'm not gonna decrease the weight. I'm not gonna go up in weight. I'm gonna stay here because between the 6 to 12 rep range is the hypertrophy range. And it's getting really hard to reach 7, 8 reps. And so this is where I'm gonna stay. And I'm gonna keep track of this weight until I start getting to 8+ reps. And then I'll add some more weight later. This is exactly why I do my split this way. Because while my chest torals are resting, I can work out another muscle group that hasn't been targeted yet. So my biceps are fresh. I can crush some bicep curls while my chest is resting, and then I can jump into the chest exercise while my biceps are resting because they complement each other. Your biceps aren't really working during chest day, your triceps are. And what's cool is by the end of either chest day or back day, you pretty much got a full-blown arm pump because you're hitting both arm muscles, biceps and triceps. Light work, baby! No, that really is light work. Everything is to failure, or at least 1 rep in reserve. Here's a common complaint I hear. XYZ muscle group isn't growing, my arms aren't growing, my chest isn't growing, my quads aren't growing. Insert whatever muscle group you want, and I'm not growing. The thing I found is with myself, let's say I had that excuse years ago. Let's say I always thought I just didn't have good chest genetics and my chest wouldn't grow, or bicep genetics, whatever. You chalk it up to whatever excuse you want. The truth is, you're probably not training correctly, or you're not tracking your progress to know if you're lacking in a certain muscle group or not. Years ago, my chest wouldn't grow. Oh my God, it's just chest genetics. The truth is, I wasn't training my chest enough or hard enough. I wasn't giving it enough volume, and I wasn't giving it enough intensity. When I started training my chest twice a week, guess what? My chest grew. Same thing with my biceps. I would do a couple sets of biceps after back day. You think it's enough, it's not. So once I started really focusing on my biceps more, started doing more sets, heavier sets, more intensity, guess what? My biceps grew as well. So there's another tip. If a certain muscle group isn't growing to your liking, you're either not training it hard enough or in enough frequency to really stimulate enough growth that you're looking for. So train it harder, train it more frequently, increase the volume, and then track that and see if it works. 9 times out of 10, it'll work. When you want to stimulate muscle growth, you have to change a variable. You either have to increase the amount of reps you're doing, the amount of sets you're doing, or the amount of weight you're doing. You can increase one of those variables or all 3 of them, okay? So let's say I'm doing this exercise and I'm tracking it. And a week from now, I'm like, okay, cool. I was able to do 8 reps, but now I'm getting to 10 reps, and that's kind of like my failure point. That's the variable I've changed. Instead of stopping at 8 reps, I've gone up to 10 reps. So I'm still stimulating growth in that muscle. Or I could stop at 8 reps and bust out a 5th set for like 6 reps or so. Or I can just go up in weight, whatever the case is. But you need to change a variable in order to continue growing, continue progressing, and continue stimulating muscle growth. Here's what I also do that's allowed me to be successful or keep progressing, if you will. Let's say for your chest, right, you have 2 muscles within the chest. You have the pec major, pec minor. The pec minor is harder to stimulate growth in than the pec major. The pec minor is a smaller muscle. You can work it out all you want, but the pec major, the lower portion of your chest, is going to grow bigger and easier than the pec minor. So if you're lacking here, what you can do is stimulate that muscle first before you attack the lower portion, so that way by the time you get here, you've already fatigued this. And let me explain if that sounded confusing. Do upper chest first. Simple as that. So if your upper chest is lacking, hit upper chest first on chest day. But I switch it around. So if I train chest twice a week, What I do is I hit upper chest first and then lower chest towards the end of my workout. And then I'll switch it around and I'll do lower chest first, upper chest towards the end of my workout. It allows me some sort of balance. It allows me to really hit the upper chest first one day and then really hit the lower chest first the second training day.
I'm winning anyway. I'm winning.
And in my mind, it's like a better balance, if you will. But if you're really lacking, I mean, you could just train upper chest all day. You're gonna hit the whole chest. I mean, let's not get picky, all right? So when it comes to these concentration curls, you may notice as I'm doing them, I'm sort of leaning my torso back so my elbow is anchored against my inner thigh. And I'm sort of leaning my torso back so I get extra stretch on the bicep here. For me personally, when it comes to doing any exercise, you want to increase the stretch on the target muscle. And so leaning back just a little bit helps me get that extra little stretch here in the bicep. I feel a difference. I think it makes a difference. Try it if you like. So that's it for chest day. 2 chest workouts, 4 sets each, twice a week, 16 sets per muscle group per week. Gets us in that hypertrophy set range. Same thing for the biceps. Even though your biceps could handle probably a higher rep range and set range. We'll get into that later. That's it for now. Hopefully you got something out of value of this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you later for more content.